Hello. Cool, I thought Milei's stream was cancelled because of Sunni jihadists in Syria. No, everybody's talking about Syria, but life goes on, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't have fun and enjoy ourselves and see how what Milei has to say about Torah. Yes, viva la libertad. Wait, why can't let me show this? Viva la libertad, carajo. I cannot speak Spanish anymore. I realize now that I have lost my ability to pronounce Spanish words, and I need to like practice it. Like my tongue gets twisted, you know. It shouldn't be that hard. Why is it that hard? That's what happens when you don't practice anything. If you don't practice something, you lose it. That's what I have to say. Yes. A very philosophical point. Actually, so like I've been looking for several like things that Javier said. See how many. Yes, hello. She's live and her hair is looking better. You didn't like my hair today? I just took a shower, so that's why. I feel like I scratched my forehead or something. Why is it red? Weird. Guys. Yeah, but yeah, I wanted to have fun. Anyway, afuera. That's my favorite video of him. It was like, Ministro de afuera. That's what it is. Trill your RS. Boom. Notification actually worked for once. I think maybe because this is actually a stream. I mean, of course, the stream from yesterday got demonetized. Obviously, I don't even feel like fighting them, to be honest. I was thinking like, okay, if I ask them to actually check it manually, and then I was like, well, I said there, like I was advocating in that stream. Actually, I shouldn't talk about it, otherwise this one gonna get demonetized either. So anyway, I'm excited about it. Maybe this would be the one that wouldn't get suppressed. I'm just kidding. It says Jews. I think everything Jewish gets suppressed, like, because just, you know, if you use prompts, like AI prompts, and you write Jews or synagogue or anything like that, it's like it feels, it's like automatically flags you as hate content. So annoying. Like I tried to get a synagogue out of, and I tried it with several AIs, and I noticed like anything Jewish gets flagged. Really, seriously, like I wanted, like I typed Torah because I wanted to get like a scroll image or something, and it was like, it goes against our policy, and I'm like, dude, no, like this is too much when you are trying so hard to be politically correct that you literally erase a population. Like first you plagiarize everything from Judaism, then you erase them. Thank you. This is how awful it is when things are politically correct. It's like, it's a crime. It's a literal crime. Anyway, that's what I feel about. Somebody says here, wait. A Hammer says, you have a classical Jewish thing in your face. Thank you. Yes, I know. I know that. I do. I feel like I go, like my face is literally like the by the book description of how a Jew is supposed to look like, which I'm proud of that. I really am. Yes. Anyway, let's move to Javier Milei. Let's have fun. Okay, let's start with some things on Twitter. So it's funny that he had that tweet where he wrote Viva la libertad, carajo, Viva la libertad, carajo, and then he added that with no explanation. It got like 62 million views and like shares and everything. It's like, and it's like a print screen. It's a quote from the Torah, from the Bible, but no explanation, no explanation of what it means, what it says, nothing. Like it could have been anything. It could have been the story of I don't, like the Pilgesh B'Giva or something like that, and people would be like, yeah. It's so funny to me. Let's see how people reacted to this. Can you guys see it? Wait, I'm gonna move my face to the other direction. I'm gonna change my face so that I won't. So you would see. Traducción del hebreo al español. Okay. Yeah, somebody nice. Who translated it. The Lord said, oh, you see, people just do it for you. Oh, you don't need to work hard. You just do something and then somebody would. That means trolling is dead, guys. Trolling, except. I tried to explain some jokes, you know, that like that there are fake agent names that are running through the internet. And somebody asked me about a certain name, right? That was supposed to be some sort of a agent, or I don't remember the joke exactly. And when I tried to translate what this name means, I got flagged on X. So I guess trolling is still alive. You can still troll, because if you try to translate some things, then X will flag you and nobody would see it. So Amit Omem would be always something that Jews would laugh like crazy reading, and those who speak Hebrew and others would never know, because if they would tell them, then they would get the comment would get flagged and nobody would ever know what it means. Yes. So that would be a mystery indeed. So what it does say, simply because the Lord said to Moses, chisel out 2 stone tablets like the first one, and I will write on them, the words that were on the first tablets which you broke. Indeed. All right, let's see. This is about Moses.
Interesante porque justamente el libertador se llama
Okay, we're gonna be optimistic and think and hope that there is like an English version with the English translation somewhere. If not, I'm gonna translate it for you guys later. See if we're in the mood. All right. I love this quote that he is quoting here. So this one has, I think, an English translation. Is it the same one? Yeah, I think it's not.
La Torah declara, la vida
okay, let's switch.
Y la muerte puse delante tuyo, elegirás la vida.
The Torah states, I put life and death before you. You will choose life.
What a beautiful translation. It's one of my favorite quotes.
Elegir la vida es elegir la libertad.
Choosing life is choosing freedom.
El Holocausto nos recuerda nuestra responsabilidad y compromiso con la libertad y la necesidad de defender los derechos humanos como pilares fundamentales de la sociedad justa.
The Holocaust reminds us of our responsibility and commitment to freedom, and of the need to defend human rights as the fundamental pillars of a just society.
Y también nos impulsa a no callar, porque el silencio es cómplice. Elegir la vida es elegir no callar.
And it also encourages us not to remain silent, because silence is complicit. Choosing life is choosing not to remain silent.
Al mirar las tenebrosas imágenes.
I love that. This is already a Dvar Torah, right? So let's open up our Torahs. I hope you all brought your Torahs here, of course. Is there anyone here without a Torah? Whoever doesn't have a Torah, please raise your hand in the comments. And if you don't have your Bible with you at all times, not good. Okay, here's the challenge. How fast can I find it without looking up where it is? So that's the question. How long would it take me to find it? What are you guys thinking? I mean, I'm gonna give me 1 second before I give up, to be honest. You guys, you have the Bibles, all right. Okay, let's see who here has the Bible. Let me go through. Somebody gave me $2 to eat cinder blocks, which I have no idea what they are. and that they taste like mints. But thank you for the $2. I don't. I'll take a lollipop or something, I think, because I don't know what that is. But thank you. Anyway, all right. So we have a vendor here, De Costa. Shot has no Torah, but no, okay. Shauna has her Bible here. Bookmouse is saying it's on the shelf. Amichai is ready. Burn, no Torah here. All right, all right. Ivan has his Torah. Shauna has it on her phone. Frank here, no Torah, have no Torah with me. Mariana is going to get hers. Okay, so here's the Rabbi Rebecca, that's the Bible and a Jewish Torah have the same scripture order. So, okay, here's the thing. The Torah is only a portion of the Hebrew Bible, right? It's the first 5 books. So, it's comparing things that are not exactly comparable. I think the Torah part are the same order, right? So the first 5 books, I'm not sure if it starts, if the New Testament starts like it. I think it's the same order if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure if it's like, if there are books that are not the Torah in between, for example, in the New Testament, because it's, it's not the same. Anyway, where is it? Let's see. Trying to remember. So actually, like, technically, I think there are only 2. It's either in Shemot or in the Deuteronomy, like in the volume. One sec, I'll search for it for a second. Thank you. Thank you for support. Hey, Argentinian here. Viva la libertad, carajo. Que son los comunistas. Yes. When you say you mean like, how did it say? Like what? Son una mierda. No, right? That's what it says, like, son una mierda. What the parashah? The parashah is named, actually, no, the parashah name. Wait, 1 second, I'll remember. The parashah is named something, I think it starts with N. That's so funny, that's what I remember. So it's like, with N. Netzarim? No, something. What is this name? Embarrassing. Anyway. Actually, I don't know why I'm suffering. Okay, you guys, gonna look at something here, because I'm pretty sure I have it open already. Because it's Nitzavim. Yeah, that's the parasha. The name of the parasha is Nitzavim, and it is Dvarim. It is the Deuteronomy. Oh wow! So I was right about that.
Imágenes del Holocausto.
So it's a Parashat Nitzavim, and it's Deuteronomy 30, and it starts with a passage 15. So what it says, oh, actually, I need to show you it in English. Wait 1 second. I need to just remember it. Like, I don't have it in English open, and I'm gonna clear here. You guys are ready? You guys are ready? It's Parashat Nitzavim. Sorry. Yes, let me open it, because I'm pretty sure I have. Let me find it in English. Here. Found it. And starts at 15. Here. That's the parasha. Parashat. Okay, so funny linguistic story. So a lot of people like shitting on the Ashkenazis that they didn't keep a lot of the original pronunciation of Hebrew, but they actually had kept some pronunciations that were lost in other communities, in like the Sephardic community, and one of them is, it's halfway, right? But at least it's distinct. So when originally, like when it doesn't have a dagesh, when it doesn't have a dot in the middle, it's supposed to be a th. So this is why, so in Hebrew now we say parashat, because in Hebrew that's spelled with like a T in the end, but it's because it's not with a dot in the middle, it's supposed to be like th, like parashat, but so the Ashkenazis say parashas. So it's a bit, is distinct, right? And it's not the only word that is like that anyway. So here's, see, I set before you this day life and prosperity, death and adversary. For I command you this day to love your God, to walk in God's ways, and to keep God's commandments, God's laws, and God's rules, that you may thrive and increase, and that your God may bless you in the land that you are about to enter and possess. But if your heart turns away and you give no heed, and you are lured into the worship and service of other gods, I declare to you this day that you shall certainly perish. You shall not long endure in the soil that you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day. I have put before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life, if you and your offspring would live. Why is it if? So it's like choose life, so that you and your offspring would live. Is this normal English? This is Deuteronomy. All right, so this is Parashat Nitzavim that he is referencing. So he also and it ends here. By loving your God, heeding God's commandments, and holding fast to God, for thereby you shall have life and shall long endure upon the soil that God swore to your fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, to give to them. Yes. So this is what the parasha that he is talking about. Now he added something about liberty. So let's go back here and see exactly how he connects that to liberty, because we're listening. This is a lesson by Rabbi Javier Milei, and we want to do it properly, and we all have our Bibles open to understand exactly how is it where is coming from in his lesson here. So okay, so let's roll back a little bit.
The Holocaust reminds us of our responsibility and commitment to freedom and of the need to defend human
Es elegir la libertad.
Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit.
La Torah declara: la vida y la muerte puse delante tuyo.
So this is what we were reading, right?
Elegirás la vida.
The Torah states, I put life and death before you. You will choose life.
Elegir la vida es elegir la libertad.
Choosing life is choosing freedom.
El holocausto nos recuerda nuestra responsabilidad y compromiso con la libertad y la necesidad.
Let's see how is that related. Okay, so does it say anything about freedom here? So, right. Let's see. So he's saying if you follow the rules of the Torah, meaning don't steal, don't kill, don't kidnap people, things like, there is no stealing, there is like the no stealing part is actually no kidnapping. So this is what's not stealing is, where, like, the commandment that is usually translated to no stealing, it's actually, the meaning is like stealing a person, like kidnapping. Yeah, so blah, blah, blah. Where does it say, talking about like anything about freedom? So here it says that everybody must learn Torah, and it specifically, I mean, if I go, I'm just reading to the next chapter, see if it's relevant. I mean, I was like, and here I'm saying that there is an explicit call for the women and children and like babies to also learn Torah, because they all have to know, and all the sons that do not learn it. Yes. I don't see anything about freedom specifically in that parashah, but let's keep. I mean, I'm not. It's funny because it is freedom, but it kind of tells you what to choose. It's like you have a choice. You have a freedom to choose, but choose life. And is it freedom then? Very confusing. Very interesting. Very interesting.
De defender los derechos humanos como pilares fundamentales de la sociedad justa.
The Holocaust reminds us of our responsibility and commitment to freedom, and of the need to defend human rights as the fundamental pillars of a just society.
Y también nos impulsa a no callar, porque el silencio es cómplice. Elegir la vida es elegir no callar.
And it also encourages us not to remain silent, because silence is complicit. Choosing life is choosing not to remain silent.
Al mirar las tenebrosas imágenes del Holocausto, me pregunto dónde estaba el mundo libre en aquel entonces.
Seeing the
this is weird. Wait just 1 second. There is a discrepancy here. So here it says "V'bacharta b'chaim" is parashat Nitzavim, but on my Bible, like on the side, it says that Nitzavim starts at somewhere else. Then it looks like that it's part of another parasha. Because here it says that Nitzavim starts on chapter 29, the 9th paragraph, and here it brings something else. Who is confused here? I am confused, obviously. Interesting. Parashat Nitzavim v'bacharta b'chaim. Let's understand. Here, about nothing. Who is this person? Oh well, who cares?
Because silence is complicit. Choosing life.
Oh, you're saying my video is lower? I'll fix it. Oh, I'll have to. All right, I'll mark your. How do I mark it? A question about Deuteronomy. Let's do it now. So 22, 25, 27 in comparison to 28, 29. So let's do it. Let's just do it quickly. See what's the difference. It will be too slow if I guess I could search it, but okay. Dude, you're asking about things that are Okay. So 20, you're saying, oh, sorry, I confused. 25, 27. Sorry. Yeah, man, that's too complex for right now. Sorry. Like this is those so those specific lines, they are written, but they weren't. It's funny because they're written here, but they were never ever enforced in the entire Bible. So every time something like that happened, the offered solution that appears here was never applied, ever, not even once. It was always a completely different story, and it's so this is somewhere where the law says one thing, but reality shows that the number of times that the Jews had actually followed this law is zero. So it's a weird thing, right? It's a weird thing, and it's a bit more complex answering that, because it's the one thing like it's not being followed. It's a bit more complex than that. If you care about practicality, that is. It's an ancient, like what is written here is an ancient Near East law that was prior to the Torah, right? So the same laws were found in Hammurabi scrolls that were are from around 1,000 years earlier than when they think the Torah was written. So this is like an old, some of the laws that appear in the Torah are old Near East laws, and it's kind of hard to try to distinguish about what is really like a law that actually is part of the Jewish spirit, and what are laws that were like training wheels for the people of Israel, because this is a convention that they were used to before. And one of them is the treatment between like what happens if like with somebody who violates a woman and things like that. The Near East laws, there was an option to pay off the father. In reality, when all the times that something like that happened, the number of times that it was an actual accepted solution was about zero. So it's like it's a weird thing where I would say, yes, something is written here, but it's clearly not a Jewish thing to do what it says. Funnily enough. All right. So let's go back to what's here. There are things in the Torah like that, like it's like, which I want to say like they are written, but they're not exactly what. It's more complex,
is choosing not to remain silent.
Al mirar las tenebrosas imágenes del Holocausto, me pregunto dónde estaba el mundo libre en aquel entonces.
Seeing the dismal images of the Holocaust, I ask myself where the free world was back then.
Y hoy me vuelvo a cuestionar exactamente la misma pregunta. ¿Dónde está la voz del mundo libre reclamando y exigiendo la liberación de los más de 100 secuestrados desde hace más de 100 días?
Speaking of which, when it comes to hostages, right? I heard a very interesting conversation today that it's something that I've said several times on my channel, right? One of the things that are a bit where I think Jews are privileged, and maybe some Jews don't really know it, is that when October 7th happened, the whole world knew. October 7th happen all the time in the Middle East, and nobody knows. Nobody knows and nobody cares. So recently, like a couple of years ago, there was an October 7th style of attack on the Druze community inside of Syria. And those who did it were actually Sunni militias that were hired by Assad, and they did an October 7th, and they had taken, if I'm not mistaken, they had taken 117 hostages, girls, with them. And it was a huge thing with the Druze community. And what ended up happening is that Israel, via like unofficial, like so the Druze community in Syria asked for help from Israel, and like not from Israel, they do it by going through the Druze community inside of Israel, and they and Israel could not like do it officially, but they did manage to gather the ransom money, and pass it like millions of dollars to get those girls back. So they paid them to release 117, if I'm not mistaken, hostages, Druze girls that were taken by Sunni militias in Syria a couple of years ago. And nobody in the world, nobody in the whole effing world was aware. And there are videos of those, like the atrocities they've committed that are very similar to the trust, like they use the same drugs as well, right? So the Captagon, the drugs that the Hamas fighters used when they attacked on October 7th are, this is like Assad business. That was the Assad family business. So they used the same drugs and it looked kind of the same, and there are like footages and videos, and yet nobody knows about it at all. Yeah.
And today I ask myself the exact same question. Where's the voice of the free world demanding and claiming for the release of over 100 people kidnapped for over 100 days already?
Yeah, so now that those hostages are clearly like, it's still can you post a reference we can use about the Ruler's ransom? What I have is like in Hebrew. Some things are not in English, so it's not I don't know if it's like written anywhere. Some things are not exactly things that can be written either. Like it can be talked about. Yeah, it's problematic. It's the thing with the Middle East, right? Some stories here, for example, cannot be written for different reasons. I also saw like have you seen, guys, the prison break footages? That like now, like the way, like what's happening in Syria, like the prison break, like they kept people like in like they had concentration camps, like literally. And I want to use my platform because thank goodness, right, that at least when it happens to us, the people know. No Jews, no news. Nobody cares or knows when it happens to others, right? Unless it's somehow related to Jews, which is in a way tragic. So I think like part of like having a platform is also saying, listen, it's not, as much as I love, like, yes, Jews are unique, but we are unique in a sense that like we brought something to the world that made us famous. And this is, the president of Argentina, who is far away from Israel and not Jewish, he knows to quote things that were written in Hebrew thousands of years ago. That's something. And when copying, right, whatever you got, I get it's bad timing for you to look it up, but if you have nothing at hand, consider making a video about it. Guaranteed to be something can convey. Yes, for sure, you're right, this is like super important. But I really feel like nobody cares, right? Like I literally feel like nobody cares. Like nobody cares, right? So at least I don't know what to say, to be honest. But yeah, like nobody would care enough to. And now, like you see in the UN, is right. They woke up and realized that Israel conquered the Hamas. It was like, oh no, that goes against the resolution. I'm sorry, sir. Have you noticed that the country is like the Syria doesn't exist anymore, and now Al Qaeda took over? What do you think Al Qaeda is gonna do to the people there? And have you seen the concentration camp under the that was under the Assad regime and the things that they have done, and yet now you have the footages, you have everything, and yet nobody cares. Nobody cares.
La vida es exigir la liberación de los secuestrados.
Choosing life is demanding the release of those kidnapped.
No debemos callar ante la monstruosidad del nazismo.
We shouldn't remain silent in the face of the monstrosity of Nazism.
De forma similar, no podemos callar ante el nazismo moderno, hoy disfrazado del grupo terrorista Hamas.
Similarly, we shouldn't remain silent in the face of modern Nazism, today disguised as terrorist group Hamas.
Elegir la vida es luchar contra el terrorismo.
See, like my only criticism to Javier Milei is to don't say Hamas, say Islam, and then I'll be like, I know it's not very Jewish, but I'll worship you, man.
Choosing life is fighting terrorism.
Como presidente de la Argentina, reafirmo mi compromiso incondicional por una sociedad basada en la libertad y la dignidad.
Yeah. They're saying some can make them care. Just think about the hypocrites that people fall for. Yeah, but like, even those people that march on free Palestine, even if you show them everything, show them the data, they don't care. They really literally don't care. Book mouse, don't tell me what to do. What do you mean calm down? I'm not gonna calm down, just tell me to. I'm a rebel. Oh, the video audio is still quite louder than you. Maybe because I forgot. Maybe because I forgot to actually do it. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I literally forgot. Fixing it up. Hey, the Oralic tribes. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. I heard Israel offered Zelensky political asylum in case he would leave Ukraine. That's like Israel offering asylum to Hitler and his followers. I don't know, man. I don't know if Zelensky is a bad guy. I really don't know. Like, if the whole system is crooked, and it was like that from the dawn of humanity, like, how can you blame him, right? Like, he did manage to anger a lot of people in Israel. Like, one of the reasons, like, I think, like, when he was going around the world asking for money, he also came to Israel, and he managed to completely misread the room, right? Like, it was kind of offensive, to be completely honest. All right, does this have any translation? Here. I think that might be just Spanish, could it be?
Templo a manos de los romanos.
This story
Okay, oh no, it's also translation.
took place after the destruction of the Second Temple by the Romans.
Se encontraba Rabbi Akiba y sus
Okay, so Rabbi Akiba, that's already after, obviously, like they said, that's not in the Bible, but it's part of the Jewish history. So this is another lesson from Javier Milei, not the parashah, but also important.
colegas observando el monte del templo en ruinas y vieron a un zorro salir del lugar más santo de lo que era el templo.
Rabbi Akiba and his colleagues were observing the Temple Mount in ruins, and they saw a fox leave the holiest of holies in the temple.
No podría haber una escena más desalentadora que aquella.
There could have been no more disheartening scene than that.
Frente a esta terrible escena, los rabinos lloraron en señal de duelo, pero Rabbi Akiba comenzó a reír.
In the face of this terrible scene, the rabbis cried in mourning, but Rabbi Akiba started to laugh.
Sus colegas le preguntaron cómo podía reír frente a semejante tragedia, a lo que Rabbi Akiba respondió.
His colleagues asked how he could possibly laugh in the face of such a tragedy, to which Rabbi Akiba answered,
Hay una profecía
You know what I really love about Javier Milei? Like, you know, somebody is amazing if people would listen to him, even though he speaks only Spanish, and they have to, like, listen to that annoying dub to understand what he's saying, no matter where he appears. Like, this is, like, high level, man.
Acerca de la destrucción que relata que un zorro irrumpiría en el lugar más santo.
There's a prophecy about the destruction that says that a fox will break into the holiest of holies.
También hay otra profecía que relata que este mismo lugar será reconstruido.
There is another prophecy that says that the same place will be rebuilt.
Ahora que veo con mis propios ojos cumplirse la primera profecía,
Now that I see with my own eyes the first prophecy come true,
me río de alegría y esperanza, ya que de seguro se cumplirá la segunda profecía.
I laugh in joy and full of hope, as the second prophecy will surely come true.
You have to appreciate Javier Milei, you know. Time to have the third temple. Alright, I think here it doesn't necessarily talk about anything that is a lesson, but let's hear him out. Let's start over. I think it's he was at Lex Friedman. I don't know. I don't like Lex Friedman. Something about him seems off to me. Is it only me? Is it on like, I don't know, maybe just me.
Faith, I'd say, has been a very fundamental element, you know? And especially in recent times, during which I've become actively involved, particularly.
I think I have it on YouTube and I feel like it's gonna be better there. Or is it this one? Yeah. No, why is it loading? Okay, that's me, lost. Friedman is like salad, no dressing. You got no flavor, maybe? Lex is a bit weird. Don't know what to think. Okay, so I'm not alone here with mine. With me thinking is a bit weird. Shauna, how do you know how his butt looks like actually? Yeah, Torah. Come on, why is it stuck?
Good.
Oh.
How hard is it? What's been the personal toll of carrying the hope of a nation on your shoulders?
Well, you know, being defamed, insulted, and attacked every single day. But again, there's no point in life if it's not with freedom. So,
Sounds like a regular Friday dinner, no?
like Sylvester Stallone once said, the secret.
Just joking. I don't want it to be like, you know, the Egyptian guy that his wife beats him and then he thinks it's a joke. Yeah. Why is it something?
The life is to carry on in spite of the blows you get, the punches you take. And fortunately, we have been able to carry on in spite of the blows, both coming at us from in front and from behind our backs, because it'd have been more honest if we had been attacked directly. But well, you know, in Argentina, politics and the mass media, they do love to attack behind your back.
What role has God played in your life? And who is God?
Well, faith, I'd say, has been a very fundamental element, you know? And especially in recent times, during which I've become actively involved, particularly in the teachings of Judaism and in the study of the Torah. This has given me a huge, let's say, a huge background to face the many adversities which I've encountered and had to overcome in the last few years. And as to who God is, He's the creator, the maker. I call Him the one.
What is a better guide for humanity, the invisible hand of the market or the hand of God?
They're perfectly in sync.
What a weird
Wow.
question, man. I mean,
Again, going back to your
it's not weird, it's kind of funny because it was so obvious what he's gonna say, so I guess he just wanted to say it for, for the sake of it.
youth, you're a lead singer in a rock band. Who's the greatest rock star of all time?
Okay. Well, the way I see it,
That's it?
the most amazing
Yeah,
rock
that's it.
singer in
That's the
history
only
of
thing.
mankind was definitely Elvis Presley.
Loyalty, advice for young
And my
people.
favorite band is the Rolling Stones.
Corruption, poverty.
So I also
What is this?
this in terms of improving quality of life, reducing poverty, reducing indigence. Therefore, if during the worst moment our image didn't suffer and we stayed strong in our ideas, now that everything is working much better, why should we change? On the contrary.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Alright, let's continue. Okay, so I guess it was like a pretty... Oh, okay. Exciting. Why does it jump?
La Torah declara, destrucción del segundo templo a manos de los romanos.
So he had this parashat Shavua, and he gives a story here, and he actually has, I don't know, I guess. 1 second. All right. I have some issue here. Okay. So he actually has the parashah here. So, and he actually brings up his own opinion. Oh no. Something is jumping on my screen. I'm so sorry. I just drive me crazy. I cannot work that way. Okay, I get it. Here. Okay, fixed. Okay, fixed. I'm good, guys. Alright, so he has this Parashat Shavua, and he talks about Rivka, which, great person, like great name, great choice of name, right? Like, and it talks about that she was pregnant. There is a story that should I translate it? Anyway, so she was pregnant and she had twins, but in the beginning she didn't know there were twins. And as we know, according to Judaism, one twin, Jacob, was a good person that was attracted to good things and led the Jews, and he's Israel. He's literally Israel. His name later in life became Israel. And the other one was Esau, which his mother, that's later on, he doesn't talk about it. Like, Rivka was not happy that Esau married a Canaanite. I think, was it a Canaanite? A Canaanite woman, right? Somebody from the local people. And to her, that meant that his children would not have the same values. So, by the way, if we are talking about how long was Judaism kind of maternal, you'd notice that, like, in the end of the day, like, there is a lot of, it matters a lot who is the mother. So the Jews the tribe of Judea, they're actually not the descendants of Judea. They're the descendants of Tamar, a specific woman, right? And the descendant of Judah, like the mother was not Hagar, it was specifically Sarah, and it was not Esau, it was Jacob, who his mother chose which ones of her sons would be like the spiritual leader of the people. Like she wanted her younger son to get the status of an elder and lead the people, because I think personally that probably because Jacob did what his mom told him, which is marrying one of his cousins, which speaking of cousins. But yeah, so the value system that her other son had, marrying a local woman, she didn't like it. Anyway, so when she was walking around pregnant, she noticed that there is a very strong reaction, right? So when it says, let me see, y otro Esau, la pregunta, estoy seguro que... okay, sí. Cuando pasaba en lugar impuro. Okay, so when she passed through a place that was not pure, she felt a pulling in her stomach, and when she passed through a place that was pure, she also felt like a pulling in her stomach. So she went and asked a prophet what's going on, what's wrong with her baby, that they react to both bad things and good things. And he said, oh, you have twins. And the moment she was like, oh, poof, it's just twins. Because when she realized that she has one baby who clearly is attracted to the pure and one baby that is clearly attracted to the impure, she relaxed. Because there is nothing worse than having somebody who is just a people pleaser, right? That they're not here, not there. There are people who are trying to do whatever is popular, not what's right? So she was like, okay, if one son clearly is attracted to impure, and it's like he's the dangerous son, and it's easy to see, and he's being honest because that's really who he is, then it's okay. And the other son, it's okay. But if you have one son that is just two-faced monster, that's the worst you can have. That's the basic story here. So he actually brought this story, and that is from 10 days ago. Yeah, November 29th. That's the parashat of Shavua that he had. La parasha esposa de Isaac estaba preocupando cuando estaba interesada. Yep, amazing. That's the story. And here it says Parashat Toldot. This is interesante. That's the interpretation of Gara Gon from the genus from Vilna, which I like seeing because I know he's my relative. You know, I mean, he lived a long time ago, but I know that's my mom's family. So it's interesting to me to see how he had interpreted things. Anyway, oh yeah, smash the like button, everybody. I forgot about those things. Thank you, Inventory, for reminding people. So yeah, that. Yeah, I think it's la combinación del corazón. Anyway, I don't feel like reading that. Okay, let's see what else is here.
La vida y la muerte puse delante tu.
Oh, here's another. After swearing in his new Minister of Foreign Affairs, and share this thought on the week. Okay, let's see the week of the Torah portion. I think maybe I'll go back to the Lech. God, this is fun.
Como hoy hemos salido, digamos, del formato convencional y tradicional
y el juramento se hizo sobre la Torá, me pareció pertinente y apropiado hablar sobre la parashá de esta semana, que es la parashá Lech Lecha.
Who knows what is the parasha about? Just from, I don't know, it's not in, you guys know, Lech Lecha. How does it translate, the parasha Lech Lecha? Go. It's like go. Lech is go, and Lecha is like go to yourself. I don't know, go. Yeah. It's a very, very famous parasha. It's Pitom Kamanda. Do you guys know it? All right.
Y es interesante lo que señala esta parashá. Así que te están mandando señales la fuerza del cielo, vos, Gerardo. Porque en la cual se habla de los comienzos de los viajes de Abraham por todo el mundo.
Yeah, it's so famous. It took me 1 second to open up the parasha in the book. It's like super easy. Yeah.
Difundiendo los mensajes del Creador. Dios le dice en esta parashá que va a tener mucha influencia en las naciones del mundo y dándole una responsabilidad importante para llevar los mensajes de la Torá, de la vida y la libertad al mundo entero. E incluso ya interactuará con otras naciones, Abraham, en esta parashá. Así es que, bendiciones, éxitos y bendiciones. Muchas te diría al revés.
Here, let's see. Interestingly enough, it doesn't like it goes, it's like the men went on a mission to become a peoplehood, but it doesn't say the Torah was written later, not at the time of Abraham. And I kind of wonder, does it say anything about preaching here? No, it doesn't say anything about preaching. It says he built like a worship place for God. Okay, so it started with a worship place, and then he gave his wife to and then it continued to him giving away his wife to the Egyptian ruler, because the Egyptian ruler, hey, who's that? And I'm like, that's my sister. It looks pretty. There, you can have her. Don't know, kind of sketchy if you actually read about it. Like if you read it, it's like, You know, when you want to start something new, one step at a time, okay? It's the wrong thing to do. Like he did the right thing and then he followed, and then like he did the right thing where he was like, this multiple God worship is the wrong way to go. We should be monotheistic. And then the next thing he did is to make a mistake. A mistake he was actually that he was actually criticized for in the same books, like same chapter. That's incredible. Let's see if he's criticized here. Yeah, amazing. So that's what we call humans are humans, right? Somebody had a great idea, great concept. Was he perfect? Absolutely not. Yeah. It's fun. It's interesting to read, because when you actually read the Torah, you see that like it starts and it adds, right? So the only thing that Abraham had to go is to start a movement, right? It didn't have the complexity that came with Moses, right? With the rules of like how it was just like, you know what, we need to have one morality. It doesn't make sense that we are worshiping statues. Those are not real. And but it's hard. It's hard to be everything at once, right? And And it's hard, even like when you see like with Rivka, Yitzhak and Rivka, if it was up to Isaac, like Yitzhak, then things would have went wrong, right? Everything that Abraham worked for, meaning this concept of like in the monotheistic concept, whatever that means. It's not that it's that well defined in the book, right? It just says, hey, that's the idea. It would have died out if it went by the way that Yitzhak was behaving, right? He would have let Esau get the rulership, and he married a local woman. So all the progress that Abraham would have made would have been erased. And was Yitzhak a bad person? No, he wasn't. But that's the thing, is like, one, you can see how it's building up. You don't like it taking the Torah and thinking that it starts from perfect people. No, it starts incrementally. One person who was not perfect had a good idea, and somebody realized it's a good idea, even though it was not his son, it was his son's wife. And she made sure that this good idea continues, okay, with the next generation. And people, and it's the thing, it's like, it's not perfect from the get-go. The theory is not perfect from the get-go. Nothing's perfect from the get-go. Not only that, like, if he was truly married to his sister, this is one of the most basic fundamental not to do laws in Judaism. So fundamental that is something that the goys are not allowed to do. Nobody in the world is allowed to marry their sister. And yet there is a chance, like, what if he didn't lie, right? What if it was his sister or half sister? That's a big no-no, right? This is one of the things that are unforgivable in Judaism, to marry your sister. And yet here we are, you know. Those things were never started perfect, because it's just one was Asaf married a local woman. Whether it was hot-headed or not, the truth is, the most simple truth is that he didn't keep, if his line could not have kept the revolution of his grandpa. It died with him, right? It died with him the moment he chose a wife that did not understand the vision. And Rivka was like, no, my son, a son of mine that marries a woman that doesn't understand the vision of our of the grandpa. No, this person is not gonna lead or be the leader of our clan. I'm sorry, that will not happen, because yes, the size, like the steps are incremental. They all made huge mistakes, all of them, and yet they did something that was revolutionary, unheard of. They took a step forward. They ensured the continuation and look how long it took, right? So think about it, like this idea of monotheism it took one generation, right? One generation, his son, when he didn't know which grandson to choose to be his continuer, almost ended the revolution his dad started. Like, look how easily and how incremental and how slow cooking this cultural revolution that the Torah described is, not to be taken for granted at all, right? It was things that are clearly forbidden in the Torah were things that the best people who had realized something but didn't yet realize everything had done. You know, those things are gradual. It's very important. And when people don't see like the training wheels and the graduality of the Torah and how it's building up the moral system, and they read it as if it's like something that is. I always say, like, if you read the Torah, you have to understand you're reading a graph, right? You're reading a graph, an interpolation, right? You're reading the direction where it goes to. You have to understand, you have to interpolate. You see the dots. When you connect them, you see the direction that the Torah is leading you to. If you take it as is, and you don't see that it's an actually what it really is not take chapter 1 and it's good and everything there is perfect and this is something you have to believe and follow to a T. Because by the end of the Torah, you'd realize, wait, something is weird here. But if you actually read it as not as a dot, not as a collection of dots, right, unrelated dots, but as a graph, as a, as a function, right? As a function, as something that has as a vector, something that has a direction, something that has a progress in it, something that is incremental, that people cannot be perfect right away, that people have great idea, and this great idea is introduced, and then you have to make that foundation strong before you move on to the next idea, because that's the way it is. And even here you could see like that those great ideas, they were almost gone several, just like second generation, right? Let's say the generation of Esau and Jacob. Like second, third generation, it was already, if it wasn't for Rivka, it would have been gone. The progress would have been lost. So it's really is an interesting aspect of it, I believe. Right, I saw there is a super chat. I want to address it. Exciting. Thank you, Gear Johnson, for support. Oh, so just because. Well, thank you so much. Oh, oops. I've been sorry. I'm just jumped. Sorry, guys. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, you guys, if you want to support me, then there is a Patreon and Buy Me Coffee and PayPal, and those things really, really, really help me. And share and like this video, please. It does really help me. Shauna Thornton, the Torah is for everyone. The stories also show human patterns. Yes, it's a great source. And I really do believe that it's also important to understand the stories around, right? I feel like the discovery, for example, of the Hammurabi tablets, right? And the fact that some of the Torah, you can, this is one of my favorite things. Like, you can understand the story so much better if you also understand the society around it and the cultural and the culture surrounding culture that it was created at. And it's not that straightforward. But when you look at it a bit more complex, it's like more complex than it is. So please all read the Torah. Yes. Anyway, here is okay. There is more here. La Argentina president.
Digo, yo no voy a la iglesia, voy al templo. No hablo con sacerdote. Tengo un rabino de cabecera. Estudio la Torah. Digamos, se me reconoce internacionalmente como amigo de Israel y estudioso de la Torah, que es casi, digamos, como, digamos, estoy a poco, ¿no?
De ser judío, decís.
Sí, exacto. Digo,
Sí.
solamente me falta el pacto
Sí.
de sangre.
Sí, sí, claro, claro.
Bueno, si hay alguien que pelea contra eso, soy yo.
Claro.
Entonces,
De hecho, perdón,
No,
¿no
no,
te
no.
atacan porque
Qué
tenés
momento
posiciones
fuerte.
geopolíticas muy cercanas con Israel? ¿No es al revés?
Claro.
también me atacan por eso. Bueno,
Claro.
a ver, Johnny lo sabe. Pero una de las cosas que yo propuse, digo, además de alinearme con Israel y con Estados Unidos, una de las cosas que yo dije es, yo quiero mudar la embajada desde Tel Aviv
A Jerusalén.
a Jerusalén. Y los que sabemos de qué se trata eso, sabemos lo que implica.
Es un lío geopolítico importante. Importante.
Está bien, pero digo, yo tengo las...
Pero es un...
Para hacerlo.
Sí, sí, sí.
Está claro, ¿no?
Está claro. Bueno, sigo porque fue un momento... Wow.
Es más, te voy a contar algo.
Sí,
Si soy presidente, mi primer viaje es a Israel.
sí, creo que te lo había escuchado.
Antes
Sí,
que a Washington, antes
Sí.
que ir a ver al fondo.
What a stud. Like, what a man. Oh my God, such a man. Like,
El fondo es otra cosa. El fondo, digamos, es una cuestión, digamos,
Claro.
vinculada a la economía.
Ah,
Esto es una
primero-
cuestión política.
Viaje-
Como simbólico querés ir a Israel.
Ok.
Sí, exacto.
Eh,
Ya que me hicieron 357.000 operaciones por las cuales no me pude dar el gusto de ir al cótel, al muro,
El muro del ornamento.
¿me comprendés? O sea, por lo menos, digo, siendo presidente no me vas a molestar. Me voy a ir. Yo te nadie me va a
¿Te
operar.
puedo decir algo?
like I need to switch my the place of my face since I'm like I feel like it's like who cares about this person that is asking me questions? He looks shocked. Yeah, not interesting. The face of Javier Milei is way more interesting.
Digo, yo no voy a
Oh, I started all over. Okay, but it's so pretty, so let's watch it again.
la iglesia, voy al templo. No hablo con sacerdote. Tengo un rabino de cabecera. Estudio la Torah. Digamos, se me reconoce internacionalmente como amigo de Israel y estudioso de la Torah,
¿Te angustiaste?
que es casi, digamos, como, digo, estoy a poco.
Yeah, I just like what he said in the end, where it's like that he tried to go to the west, like the Kotel, the Western Wall, and he was like, it's so many things, but like the once he's a president, he could go there without anyone bothering him, so he's gonna take advantage of that. That was awesome.
El fondo es otra cosa. El fondo, digamos, es una cuestión, digamos, vinculada a la economía. Esto es una
Primero-
cuestión política.
Viaje-
Como simbólico querés ir a Israel.
Ok.
Sí, exacto. Ya que me hicieron 357.000 operaciones por las cuales no me pude dar el gusto de ir al cótel, al muro,
El muro del ornamento.
¿me comprendés? O sea, por lo menos, digo, siendo presidente no me vas a molestar. Me voy a ir.
Yo te
y
vi.
nadie me va a
¿Te
Amazing.
operar.
puedo decir algo?
It's so funny. Okay, here's another one. Does it have translation though?
Un rol fundamental y que es lo que nos va a ayudar a que nos podamos
Oops.
realmente para que, digamos, los zurdos no nos entren por ningún lado.
Why is it not in English? Can I find it in English? There are two videos that I'm seeing that I feel like it doesn't, like it has,
Interesante porque justamente el libertador
he's talking about
el
Moses
elote.
here. I think it's important. I kind of want to find it in English. How do I find it in English? You guys have an idea? Alright, you know what? Let me show up my face and I'm gonna search it, see if I can find it with English subtitles or something. Maybe there is translation here. Get there. No, not this one. Yeah, dear Johnson, your questions are amazing. Best question ever. Have you all eat the... Alright, let me try finding. Javier Milei on Moses. Moses. I'm not gonna find it ever. I hate everything so much now because wherever you search anything, it just throws so much woke shit at you that clearly nobody's looking or searching for. Ugh, so disgusting. It makes me breath. Like, why is it being promoted? Why is this shit being promoted? Why am I seeing a bunch of like woke effing, like, what did I look for? Moses, right? I didn't look for an Al Jazeera documentary for how bad, evil Javier Milei is. You're gonna tell me that people in Google do not know what people want, whether they're searching for? Like you woke assholes. Ugh, disgusting. Anyway, I don't know if I managed to find it here though. So bad. So bad. Oh, here. It says Ciudad Magazine. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like, okay, does it have English subtitle? Can you help me explain why you need to read the Torah in Hebrew to really read the Torah? It's even more than that, to be honest. You have to know the culture, and you have to study it. You have to see different, like, I don't know if studying Hebrew would help you. It's kind of like, you know, you can do it, but the English. Yeah, I get it. Like most just look for several translations or something like that. Even when you study Hebrew, right? It's gonna take years to understand. I don't know. I feel like it's too much, and I feel like there is enough resources and on the internet and in life that can help you navigate through without needing to necessarily speak Hebrew. Okay, let's see what the most viewed part here. Is this the same clip? No. Yeah, no way I'm gonna find it in English with English translation. How sad. Do you guys want to watch it in Spanish, or is it too much? Let's just watch it. Who cares? It's what we are here for, and yeah. And then we're gonna go eat something and sleep.
Interesante porque justamente el Libertador se llama el hotel, y además los colores son violetas, que son los colores de la Libertad Avanza. Y además el nombre del Libertador, tío, yo soy amigo del dueño, ¿no?
Okay, so it starts with something weird, talking about like a hotel and its colors, and that it's named the Liberator. So it's talking about a hotel that is called the Liberator, and he's friend of the owners.
¿no? Yo soy, o sea, amigo de Eduardo Elstein. Así que también, digamos, sea a qué hace referencia, que es, digamos, a Moshe, ¿no? A Moisés, que sin dudas es el máximo libertador de la historia de la humanidad, digamos que para que alguien tenga una idea de lo que se fue esa hazaña del pueblo.
So he's talking about, if somebody is confused about what was the significance of the Exodus, like it was that Moses was the biggest liberator in history. So that's the significance, like the great success, the great triumph story of the
Judíos saliendo de
Exodus.
Egipto, es como que vos veas hoy a una persona sola y su hermano enfrentarse a China, Estados Unidos.
It's the same as saying somebody and his brother, like a couple of, I mean, come on, his sister, his mother, the whole family was in it. Don't underestimate the role of Miriam here. And Miriam and them, you know. And actually, it starts with his mother, Yocheved. Like, what she did was the real heroism. Real heroism. Like, heroism in 11 that almost cost her marriage. So, I'm here to criticize the rabbi, so I'm just saying that he should. But yeah, it's from home, but the two brothers were the forefront when they were facing, like, so I'm saying it's as if you have two couple of brothers now would face off China or the United States or Russia.
Digamos, Rusia, todos juntos, ¿no?
Todos juntos.
O sea, y se le paró de mano y le dijo, libera mi pueblo.
And go and say, let my people go.
Que tenés de esa impronta, de ese fuego interior, porque yo que te veo todos los días, que todo esto que nos estás diciendo, que son números, que yo también, sabes, que trato de ir incorporando,
I think that's his wife.
Como pareja, por acompañarte,
Yeah.
pero también contarle a la gente que todo el día vos estás pensando en Argentina.
Yeah, no, that's boring. Sorry, she's just complimenting him. And here's another one, there's like this one.
Fundamental. Y que es lo que
With
nos va a
dramatic music.
ayudar a que nos podamos coordinar internacionalmente para que, digamos, los zurdos
I
no
love
nos
how it's
entren
like we don't want the left to penetrate from all directions, or like we're fighting against the left.
por ningún lado. Y es por eso que a estos efectos de esta introducción yo la quiero hacer con la parashá que se llama Vayetse,
Vayetse, that's the parashah is talking
porque
about.
básicamente
Let's
en el
open it.
comienzo de la parashá encontramos la historia en la cual Jacob sale de la casa de su padre y viaja hacia la sierra de Harán.
I feel like we just talked about, like, so this is Yaakov going to Haran. This is his mom. This is where his mom sent him to find somebody who would understand the vision that they were fighting for. But where they were from, like Ur, right? This was the first civilization. So I guess like they came to the area of Israel that was uncivilized for them, because they came from like the biggest civilization at the time, like the Abraham family, like from the area of Ur, like this area. So you know but I guess like even though they came from a very civilized, like high culture area and stuff like that, they still believed in polytheism there, which they didn't like. So they were like, okay, we have to bring the civilization into a new area, and they chose this area, right? The Abraham family. And this is, by the way, not in the book. I'm just saying this is the way I see it, like happening. If like where they came from, like if you look, like this is where historical context, if you actually look at historical context, like the great, of course you had also the Egyptian civilization, but you also have the also, like, which was a great civilization. Like this is the where civilization started, right? I'm pretty sure it's the first one. So let me check the timelines. So like this is where they're from. Let me see. So probably they came here, they were like, okay, everybody's savage here. So here's the thing, like nobody in like Haran and things like that. Is it really like the same Ur? Maybe. If it's the Sumerian Ur. Or somewhere else. But if it is the Sumerian Ur, it was, let's see, so history. So that was, I just wonder, like, how does it compare to, how did it compare to Egypt, which was also great civilization. Anyway, something. Obviously, they thought their civilization was better, even though, oh, it looks like that. Oh, Kashadim, which makes sense. Okay, so maybe this is also part of it. They also had a human sacrifice. This is another thing that the Abraham brought, right? So the first thing is like, the fighting against the statues, and the second thing is like fighting against the practice of human sacrifice. So anyway, so you come from a great civilization to a place that was like this area here, like it was like I think it was under the Egyptian control, right? But it was a little bit more like savage, not exactly the same, This is why he had business with Egyptians, I guess, right from the get-go. Egyptians also had very, anyway, it's a transit area. I think one of the reasons it's like it managed to have this interesting book like a Torah is because of the geographical position of being like some sort of a transit area between empires. It just picked up the best ideas from every empire and then added on top of it. But yeah. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So the locals were not great people, apparently. So she had to send her son to get somewhere else alive.
Encontrar luego una pareja y construir las 12 tribus del pueblo hebreo. En la mitad de su viaje nos cuenta la parashá que Jacob frena para descansar y pone piedras únicamente alrededor de su cabeza para protegerlo de las fieras salvajes del lugar. Entonces la pregunta es, ¿acaso no tendría que haber protegido todo su cuerpo? ¿Por qué protegió solamente su cabeza?
That's interesting. So he's saying on the way he stopped to sleep and he created like a wall made of stones to just protect his head, and it was like, why did it just protect his head and not the rest of his body? Like, what about the rest of his body? So that's why would he do that? Interesting.
Esto es lo que quiero que quede claro, esto es lo que tenemos que entender, y esto es el rol de la batalla cultural. ¿Por qué solamente protege su cabeza y no el resto del cuerpo?
He says this is something we have to understand because this is like an allegory for our cultural wars.
Porque ustedes necesitan proteger su cabeza.
Because you have to protect your head. I mean, your brain. The ideas and stuff like that.
Necesitan proteger sus ideas. Ustedes tienen que fortalecer sus ideas. Si ustedes fortalecen el cuerpo, pero no fortalecen las ideas, las fieras se los van a comer igual. En cambio, cuando ustedes fortalecen su cabeza, ustedes están prestos y en condiciones de dar la pelea.
Interesting. So he says, like, because this is, if you're protecting your head, like your mindset, this is when you are ready to fight back. This is what you actually need to protect. That's an interesting thing. Yes. Let's see. Parashat. Where is it? Where does it talk about? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting the way it says here, "Ve'asam mereshotav." It's like it's not such a clear Hebrew, to be honest. Oh, interesting.
Y justamente esto es lo que hace Zipak. Cuida de la cabeza, cuida las ideas, son los guardianes de las ideas y por eso es tan importante. Y esa es la reflexión de la parashá, que tenemos que cuidar las ideas, porque si no damos la batalla cultural, no importa cuán buenos seamos gestionando, no importa cuán buenos seamos políticamente para
Yeah,
poder...
it's like it's talking about like we have to protect our culture. It doesn't matter how good we're gonna be if we are not protecting our brain from parasitic ideas like communism and Islam.
Porque si la cabeza falla, si falla el espíritu, si falla, digamos, lo que nos motiva y moviliza, no vamos a llegar a ningún lado. La complejidad que tiene la gestión es enorme. Y si ustedes no tienen definido el norte, si ustedes no saben dónde van, es como el dicho ese, que no sabe lo que busca, no entiende lo que encuentra. Entonces nosotros a diario en la gestión nos encontramos con un montón de dificultades y adversidades. Pero lo que marca siempre el norte es nuestra visión. Y eso es lo que tenemos que alimentar.
He says you have to have a vision. Without a vision, you don't know what you like. You always have to have a vision that guides you.
Tenemos que alimentar nuestra visión, porque en la medida que nosotros fortalezcamos nuestra visión, eso nos va a hacer resilientes, nos va a permitir enfrentar a los zurdos y ganarle en todos los terrenos y terminar de una vez por todas con la basura del socialismo.
Okay.
Es increíble, pero pareciera que todo ya estuviera escrito. Así es que bueno. Lo que quiero, digamos, ya entrando de lleno al discurso, voy a tratar de no tener desvíos así. Ya saben que últimamente no vengo cumpliendo, porque 2/3 de los discursos son desvíos, con lo cual, pero voy a tratar. Hoy es un día de festejo para nosotros. Hace tiempo teníamos ganas de organizar el Zipak.
Okay, I don't know what he's talking about now. Now I'm trying to understand like the story of like the protecting the head. Yeah, so it's something that like it's an interpretation. Because the way it's written here, it's gonna also something that you could read like maybe just put his head on a stone, just, you know, like a pillow or something. But that also sounds kind of weird. I don't get it. Like there was an argument about why did he do that. Was it to protect himself? Another was saying like, no, there weren't any animals around. He was not trying to protect himself. It was just, I think like it was the stones were like had a spiritual meaning, like, right? So it was like a spiritual, some sort of a superstition or something. Anyway. Unclear. Anyway, have a vision, guys. Have a vision. Having a vision is very important. That's the story of today. and it was fun. Learning from Javier Milei, Torah portions. There is a lot of, and I think it's important because, you know, people are at different places, and it's interesting to see, like, in a sense where, like, when you deal with relatively, let's say, primitive society or something like that, how do you teach them things, right? Like, what are the steps? I kind of feel like maybe one thing to do is to try to understand, like, what was the education steps that are presented in the Torah, right? So, like, once you graduated first grade, then you went to second grade and this third grade and things like that, and see if we can apply it with areas that are still stupid today. Yeah. Or, you know, we just start with the end. Experimentation. All right, guys. Have a vision. Protect your minds. Good night, everybody.